You know that feeling, right? You're in a conversation, you're sharing something that really matters to you, and you just walk away feeling completely missed. It's so frustrating. But here's the thing. That ability to truly connect with someone, it's not some kind of magic power. It's actually a set of skills that anyone can learn. And that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to unlock those secrets together.
Just think about that for a second. There is a huge difference between someone just hearing the words you're saying and someone really getting the feeling, the meaning behind them. That gap, right there, that's where connection can just fall apart. But it's also our biggest opportunity to build way stronger relationships.
All right, so let's dive in. We're going to open up what I like to call the counselor's toolkit. First, we'll lay down the foundation of trust. Then we'll add the crucial skill of active listening. After that, we'll get into the real power of empathy. And finally, we'll look at some pro-level tools for creating genuine insight.
Okay, first things first. Before any real conversation can even begin, you have to have a safe space. I mean, in therapy, this is everything, but it's true for life too. All meaningful communication, whether it's with a colleague, your partner, or a friend, has to be built on a solid foundation of trust. It's the ground floor for everything else we're about to do.
So what's the secret ingredient for that trust? It's something called rapport. And look, it's way deeper than just being nice or friendly. Rapport is about creating this non-judgmental vibe, you know? It's where the other person feels this mutual sense of understanding. It's that gut feeling that says, okay, this person gets me, I can be real here.
So now let's grab our first tool from the kit, and this one is a big one, active listening. We all like to think we're pretty good listeners, right? But real active listening, well, it's a whole other level. It is so much more than just letting sound waves hit your eardrums.
And here is the absolute key difference. Hearing is passive. It just kind of happens to you. But active listening, oh, that's a full contact sport. It demands your total concentration. You're not just sitting there waiting for your turn to talk. No. You are on a mission to understand, to respond with thought, and, this is huge, to actually remember what they said.
So, how do we actually do this? Well, it breaks down into 5 key parts. First, you have to pay full attention. And yes, that means putting your phone away. Next, you show that you're getting it, maybe with a nod or by rephrasing what they said. Then, if you're confused, you ask clarifying questions. You also give little bits of feedback to show you're still with them. And finally, and this one is the hardest for so many of us, you fight that urge to interrupt.
Now here's the specific technique that really puts active listening into practice. It's called reflective listening. All you're doing is acting like a mirror. You reflect back not just the words they said, but the emotion you're hearing underneath it all. This one simple move can make someone feel so incredibly seen and validated. And honestly, it often helps them understand their own feelings a little better too. Just look at how simple but powerful that is. You're not trying to solve their problem. You're not jumping in with advice. You are just reflecting back what you heard. They say, "I'm so overwhelmed," and your response shows that you listened, you get it, and you're right there with them in that feeling. This is an absolute game changer in conversations. Okay, so we've got active listening in our toolkit. Let's add our second major tool, empathy. If listening helps us understand the ideas, empathy is what builds the emotional bridge. It's what allows us to truly connect with what another person is actually experiencing. And we have to get this distinction right because it is so important. Sympathy actually creates distance. It's you, on the outside, looking down and saying, "Oh, you poor thing." But empathy closes that distance. It's about climbing down into the hole with someone to say, "Wow, I get it, and you're not alone down here." One is feeling for someone, the other is about feeling with them. You know, empathy isn't just one single thing. It's actually helpful to think of it as having 3 different flavors, and each one plays a slightly different role. Think of them as different tools for different kinds of emotional situations. First, there's cognitive empathy. This is the head part of empathy. It's more of an intellectual thing, where you can put yourself in someone else's shoes and see the world from their point of view. You understand their perspective, even if you don't personally feel what they're feeling. Then you've got emotional empathy, and this is all heart. This is when you literally start to feel a bit of what the other person is feeling. You know, their joy makes you smile, or their sadness gives you that lump in your throat. It's that physical, shared emotional experience. Here is another one of those simple but incredibly powerful phrases. This statement isn't saying, "I know exactly how you feel." Instead, it validates their feeling. It basically says, what you're feeling is real and makes sense, and I'm trying to understand it. It offers pure support without any judgment. And that is the absolute core of empathetic connection.
Okay, so now that we're listening and connecting with empathy, we can move on to the more advanced tools in our kit. The art of questioning is all about using those skills to guide a conversation toward a real discovery, not just for you, but for the person you're talking to.
Let's look at 3 really powerful types of questions. So instead of asking yes or no questions, you can use open-ended ones to invite a bigger story. Something like, can you tell me more about how that made you feel? Then, if a feeling seems really vague, you can use a scaling question to make it more concrete, like on a scale of 1 to 10, how anxious are you feeling? And if someone feels stuck, a solution-focused question can gently shift them toward action. What's just one thing you could do to feel a little more in control? See? These are tools to open doors, not to interrogate someone.
And this, right here, is the big takeaway. The goal of asking great questions isn't just for you to get information. It's to ask a question that's so thoughtful, it actually helps the other person see their own situation in a new light. A truly great question doesn't just give you an answer, it gives them an insight.
So let's put this all together. Here is your blueprint for connection. Number 1, build that foundation of trust and rapport. 2, listen actively to understand, not just to come up with your reply. 3, connect with empathy, that's feeling with someone, not for them. And 4, ask questions that open doors to discovery. This blueprint works everywhere, at work, at home, with your friends, you name it.
And that brings us to our final thought, and this one's for you. You don't have to become a master of all this overnight. Just think about it. What's one conversation you have coming up this week where you could try using just one of these tools? Maybe just a little more active listening. We're trying one single empathetic statement. How could that one small shift unlock a completely different and better kind of connection?